Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Kim Gazella, and I am an art therapist for the Art Therapy Studio. I am fortunate enough to have Linda join me here. So, Linda, do you want to kind of tell us who you are?
Sure. Hi, Kim. My name is Linda Jackson. I'm the Director of Arts and Health for the MetroHealth System here in Cleveland, Ohio. And thank you for having me. It's great to join you today.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. So what we're going to do today, we're going to take you through an art project that you can do at home, okay? We are focusing today on our strengths. So it's a thinking project, so you guys are going to have to think. But I'm going to walk you through it. What you are going to need for our project is a piece of white paper. You got your white paper, Linda? So we need some white paper. And we need something to draw with or write with. So I've got a Sharpie. Linda, what do you got?
I have colored pencils.
Awesome, awesome. And then I also have some markers for my color. So what I want you guys to do, we're going to start simply by tracing our hand, okay? So place your paper in front of you, okay? And I'm going to tilt my screen down a little bit so you guys can see what we're doing. I jumped ahead of you guys, so I'm going to cover my hand over it so you don't see it. Okay. So get your hand on the paper. What you're going to do is you're going to take whatever instrument you have. If it's a pen, a marker, a colored pencil, you are going to trace around your hand, your thumb, all your fingers, okay? After you trace your hand, you have to figure out what you're going to do down here, okay, around your wrist. You can do one of two things. You can either circle it around, or you can just follow your wrist off of the page, okay? So that's our easy non-thinking step, guys. Now your thinking step is, I want you to brainstorm and indicate what are your strengths. So you are going to put your strengths in here where all your fingers are, okay? Think about things that help keep you strong, things that are positive qualities about you. So as you begin, I'll show you what I've got here. I'm going to turn it around for you. So I've got creative, flexible, optimistic, compassionate, and determined. So as I'm talking, I want you guys to fill in your fingers with some of your strengths. We'll get through it together. So Linda, did you get your 5 words on there? Or at least a couple? Good.
I did, and we have a couple in common.
What do you have?
I wrote passionate, dedicated, loyal, optimistic, and creative too.
Awesome. I love you, Linda. Okay, so the next thing I want you guys to do is think about a shape that you're going to put on the center of your hand, okay? Just something significant to you. You're going to own it because this is your hand. So you're going to put your name in the middle of the strength, or in the middle of the shape. I got it. So for mine, I did a flower. I'm a little anxious for spring to finally turn into summer here. So I've got my flower and I put my name in the flower. So whatever shape you guys want to use, hearts, flowers, footballs, a cross, it doesn't matter. You choose what you like. Okay. What's your shape, Linda?
I don't know if you can see it too well, I drew a heart because with all that passion and I thought a heart was appropriate.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. So I do have a finished sample and I, like Linda, have stuck with that heart. So now around your heart, Linda, and like around my flower or around whatever shapes you guys chose, I want you to think about the things that you do to rejuvenate, to build yourself back up. So sometimes we have bad days and we're just like, oh, you know, this is enough. But on those days, you have to find something that you enjoy doing that will pick you up. And what you're going to do is you are going to write those things in the palm of your hand around your shape, okay? So think about,
Okay.
maybe do you go for a walk? Maybe take your dog to the park, read a book, listen to some music, exercise, meditate, connect with other people, do art. So it could be a ton of different things that you do. Pray, okay? You decide what things are the best for you. And this is a good reminder, because when you're feeling down, you could look back at that hand and you can say, oh, I remember, I think I'm going to do one of these things because I have to do something for me today. Linda, what were a couple of the things you put?
I'm still writing, but I put connect with family and friends. I take Pilates and some yoga. I like to take a walk. So those were where I've started. A few more to add.
Those are awesome. Those are awesome. And so you can see Linda's got a lot of positive, healthy choices that she does, you know, so think about healthy choices, you know. Think about healthy choices. You want to stay healthy. You got to stay strong, right? And that's the whole idea of our hand. This is our strong hand to remind us that we have some really good qualities. And if we take care of ourselves, we can remain strong. Okay, so then the next thing we're gonna do, for any of you guys who like to doodle, this is a wonderful, wonderful process. So this is something called a Zentangle. And if you haven't heard of it, it's just like doodling. What you are gonna do, and I'm gonna show you here, I'm gonna kind of tilt my computer screen down for a moment. What you're gonna do is you are going to break your background up into different shapes, okay? It doesn't matter how you break it up. I started with just a simple line going across my page, okay? So you're gonna break the background up. So you have different areas. I got a little away from myself. I made the semicircle here, and I thought, oh, that looks like a sun. So I had to put these little rays in, which still, you know, blocked it up into different shapes, different areas. So you are gonna block your background up into different shapes. And what that is going to do is give you the opportunity to start your doodling, your Zentangle of shapes, okay? And I'll give you a minute to catch up there. So when we doodle, I think that in itself is a meditative process. So I think, at least for myself, when I doodle, when I draw, I become really invested in the process of it and lose sense of time sometimes, lose sense of kind of what's going on around me. If I have some aches or pains and I'm focused on the art, I can distract from any of that stuff. So once you have created your breakdown of the background into shapes and sections, what I want you to do is, and I just did part of this, actually I'm going to tilt my screen again so you can see. Linda, did you break yours down into shapes?
I did. Let me try to see. I know there's a little glare from outside, but I've got some good shapes starting to come around it. Kind of leaves and lines and patterns.
Very good. Very good. So Linda, now that you have your shapes coming out, what I want you to do is like choose like one or two of the shapes that you're going to work back into. So as I tilt my computer screen down so you guys can see here, you'll notice that sun, what I did, I took a couple more lines in there and I created a pattern of zigzags. So you are going to start to create patterns in each of these areas that you blocked off, separated, okay? It could be any kind of pattern, but you want it to be repetitive. So along the side, I did a little bit of wavy things, you know. You can do some polka dots in there. You can do little spirals. You can do checkerboards. You can make little tiny flower shapes. But what you're going to do is each separate area you will fill with some kind of a pattern. And they can be all different, or if you want to repeat some of them, you can repeat some of them. So you kind of decide what you want to do. You can spend hours doing something like this, or you could just kind of whip something out. You could set it aside and come back to it for later. You decide. So what I'm gonna do, did you pick a pattern, Linda?
Yeah, I started some that have some little wavy lines. My pencils are a little bit light, but there's wavy lines within, some little circles within triangles. I'm working up towards the top now.
Very good, very good. So then as you guys get all your different patterns put into that background, that Zentangle, what I want you to do is grab some of your colors, and I want you to start just giving it some oomph, you know, because, you know, color is expression. Color is, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of brightens your mood and your spirit, you know, so add some color to it.
I actually have the colored pencils out because I found myself coloring in coloring books recently again.
Yes. And isn't that a meditative process in its own, Linda?
Yes.
Yeah. Coloring is wonderful. Sometimes people think, oh, you know, coloring is for kids, but, you know, they've got all those adult coloring books out there. So what does that tell us? That's not for kids, is it?
No.
Well, not only for kids.
Right.
Not only for kids. So then you're going to start adding some colors to your Zentangle and even to your hand, you know, get some color in your hand too. So as you're working, you know, put some color in your hand. If you want certain things to pop out more, you can even do some outlining. Maybe you want to outline your hand again in a color. I know you've already outlined it in either a regular pencil or a pen or a colored pencil, but try to make things pop. Add more color, more affect. Just kind of go with the flow. So you guys can see how this art task can probably consume a lot of your time because you can become so focused in it and you can get so detailed. You can keep it simple or you can make it detailed. It's totally up to you how much you want to invest in the process. Linda, how's yours coming so far?
It's coming. I'm darkening up some of the original lines so to really give it some color and pop and give me more areas to fill in.
Gotcha. Well, this is a wonderful project because let's see. Oh, I like it. So Linda's making it more bold. We can see it more. It jumps, it pops. That's wonderful, Linda.
Thank you.
So you can see, guys, that, you know, you can invest tons of time into this. I took a shortcut. It wasn't really a shortcut at the time, but it's a shortcut now. So I'm going to show you. I have my original that I started, and I'm going to lower my screen again so you guys can see it. Oh, there we go.
That's awesome.
So you can see how we started with the hand, and my original hand had a heart just like Linda's. And then I put some of those things around the hand as to what I do to rejuvenate myself. Broke up the background. Of course, I've got that sun theme in there again. You know, it's funny because things kind of, you know, stay true to our characters and the things we love. You know, so if you see certain themes in your art that kind of happen over and over again, that's you. you know, sunshine. These are waves, you know, so much for the ocean right now, but one day, right? What do you think, Linda?
Soon. I think it's fabulous. And I think knowing you, I think it's very you.
Oh, thank you. You're sweet. So how far did you get, Linda? I know I had a head start on you.
You did. I'm getting there. I'm just starting to really put color and pull things in now.
Very good. Very good. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. So this is something I think that Linda probably could spend another hour or so on. We won't do that on the video, but know that you guys can spend all that time on there. You know, you could set it aside and come back to it. But just like when you're talking on the phone and you're doodling, you know, it's a great way to relax, to de-stress, you know, to remind yourself that you're strong and you can get through this and you're not in this alone. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Linda.